Welcome to Healthy Conversations with Athens-Limestone Hospital, where we highlight the people and programs making a difference in your healthcare. I'm Susan Claiborne, joined by Karina Farr, and today we're joined by Mark, Executive Director of Operations, and Jordan, our Food Services Director, to go behind the scenes of hospital meals. From carefully planned nutrition for patients to comforting meals for staff, Jordan and the Food Services team play an essential role in healing and wellness at Athens-Limestone Hospital. We'll explore how our food services team collaborates with dietitians, busts myths about hospital food, supports staff on long shifts, and brings compassion to every tray. Welcome to Healthy Conversations. Well, thank you both for being here. So, Jordan, we're just going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about what you enjoy most leading the food services department.
Yeah, so the food service department is a very robust department. A lot of people don't know or recognize that we touch a lot of different areas of the hospital. Just about any unit that we have, the food service department actually has to go to that area, stock the nutrition areas for them so there's snacks available for the patients that are there, as well as some of the break rooms. We stock those as well. And so the biggest thing for me in running that department is being able to be helpful to not only the patients, but the staff as well. You know, being able to give them what they need to get them through the day, and be called upon by those folks to know that I'm there. You know, we're there. We're your backbone. If you need us for something, just give us a call. Whether it be last minute or 3 weeks in advance. If you call upon us, we're going to do our best as the food service department to get you what it is you need for your patients and yourself. So that's my biggest thing with that.
Well, as an employee, even I don't think about all the places that you cover. I know I usually call upon you for catering needs, and I know you do the physician's lounge, but I guess I kind of forgot about, the hospital fridges that are in all the different departments that have to be stocked as well, because we think about just the cafeteria. So, okay, very cool. So, how does your department collaborate with like the clinical dietitians, the nurses, the physicians?
And so the way we operate is we operate on a menu based from the dietitian. So they do actually make the patient menu for us. And so it's for patient related. We get that information from them. If there's any changes that need to be made to that diet order, they would call down to us. The physicians actually input the order into the system so we can see what type of diet that patient needs, whether it be heart healthy or whether it be in a renal or a diabetic diet. And so they give us that information for us to go back behind the scenes and pull the menu and be able to make that individual's tray. So there's also changes that can be made by the nursing staff. Say, for instance, that patient didn't like what they got that day. The nursing staff can come in and put an order in to us, and we will send them exactly what it was they wanted within their diet restrictions. So we touch base with the dietitian daily, really, and nursing staff's always on the phone with somebody on the tray and patient side over there. So just about every day they're going to be talking to somebody within the clinical team.
So when they get that bland tray, it's not necessarily the kitchen's fault, it's the dietitian's fault. They're right.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, the dietitians are very. They have a very, I guess, it's a pretty robust menu for a patient diet. Obviously, it's a lot more on there. What they try to do from the dietitian standpoint is because I had to sit down with them and talk to them about why the menu was the way it was, and what they try to do is let these individuals know that, hey, we get it that you're diabetic. However, if you do things in moderation, you can still enjoy some of the luxuries that other folks that are not, on these different restrictions, enjoy. And so, sitting down and speaking with them, I mean, we've got brisket, we've got pulled pork and things like that, things you wouldn't think that you would have in the kitchen, but you don't get heavy portions of it. Because if you're on low sodium, you don't want a lot of pork, but you can have a small portion of that, and combat that with some other things to get your carb counts and your calorie counts where they need to be at, but also enjoy something that we would enjoy. And that's the big thing. It's not, you get the bland food, it's not all our fault. Sometimes it is dietitian because of the way they made the menu, but we're the ones cooking it, so it falls back to us.
Yeah. So it is for healthy reasons. For healthy reasons. Oh, cool. Cool.
Absolutely. I want to back up for a second. Can you each kind of give us an overview of what you do at the hospital? Just like a big.
So my title, my official title will be Director of Support Services. And so that would be environmental services, food services. I have the gift shop and the wellness center. So anything that really supports the behind the scenes operation of the hospital, from cleaning to food to, general wellness at the wellness center, and just having, a place where people can go and grab food options with the gift shop and coffee, generally falls with me. Usually about 60 or 70 people report to me, and then I report up to Mr. Mark over here, who can tell you what he does.
Yeah, so I'm the executive director of operations at the hospital. Like Jordan said, everything he oversees and support services kind of falls up under me. And then to add on to that, I've got plant operations, and I'm also the hospital safety officer, incident commander through emergency management, and I oversee our workplace violence program.
Yeah. Sounds like y'all have a lot going on over there, and you don't think about all those behind the scenes parts of a hospital. People just think about what they see when they go into the ER or whatever, and you don't think about all the things that have to happen behind the scenes to make that possible. So that's really interesting to hear more about that. As going back now to the food service, can you talk some about how food services does more than just, what a patient eats, but how it may contribute to more of their emotional well-being and just a holistic view of their health rather than, just getting calories in?
Exactly. So, obviously, a lot of people go to food for comfort. And what we try to do is, they're patients, you're a patient, however, you're still a person. And so we like to, as a food service team, we don't just want to be here to be just these calories, this is the food you have to eat. We want these people to be able to call down to us and talk to us about, hey, I've got these dislikes. What do you have? What do you have that falls within my restrictions that I can actually eat that's going to make me feel more comfortable being here? We also do things such as we send meals to the companions that may be in the room with the individual, because if you're here, you're at the hospital, you might not want that person to leave you. So that companion's there with you, and for them to have to eat as well. And so what we do with them is we actually send a tray to the room for them as well, so they don't have to leave their loved one in there by themselves if they're feeling, if they've had bad things going on, and they don't want to leave them by themselves. So we do that. We also, going into like the staff morale standpoint, we have a lot of people who will call us, and they would say, hey, staff's having a rough day. It's a busy day. The ER, for instance, a couple months ago was having a rough day, and we, as a food service department, made a bunch of cookies and drink trays and sent it down to them to kind of give them a pick me up to help them get through their day. And so we just try to, as a department, be there for everyone that we can to the best of our ability. So.
Yeah, and to add on to that, food makes everyone happy. So, we have a great staff and a team in place that really care about that and want to make everybody happy. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to make everybody happy. But, as far as our staff goes, when it becomes break time, they're looking for some good food. And then on the patient side of things too, we try to do what we can to make them happy.
I know the coffee makes everybody real happy in the store, in the C-store, because the specials and all those kind of things, there's usually always somebody down. Yeah. Yeah, there's always somebody down there getting those.
I have. Can you, I don't know if you know, is there like a ballpark number of, how many people y'all feed a day?
We're talking patients included.
Yeah. You have any
I
idea?
would say we're looking at about 300 plus, because at any given time, inside the hospital, you'll have roughly 200 or so employees actually in the hospital, and that could be more. Um, I would say probably a good between 20 to 50 visitors come through. We probably see roughly 150 to 200 of our actual employees come through. And then patients, which we've had a fairly high census over the last month or so, we're feeding about 60 plus a day, 3 meals a day.
Yeah, and those are
So
specific meals too.
exactly,
It's not just a
exactly,
generic meal.
exactly. So it's a lot.
And what's pretty cool with the community is that we do have some regulars that come in every day to the cafeteria to eat our food. So,
Yeah.
we're
That says a lot.
we're,
Does.
we're happy about that.
We are. We are.
Great place to stop and get some breakfast too. You can't just get that breakfast everywhere.
Exactly.
So, um, also talk about, I know, like, patient satisfaction scores are kind of impacted with food services. And I know I see Google reviews come across with food services. And so there are a lot of people, like again, you may have those that are upset with their bland diet, but you also got a lot of those comments that come across about how good the food is. And not too long ago, we had somebody who actually commented that to make sure, I don't even remember what the item was, but it was like they liked it so much they wanted us to serve it more often.
So as far as the satisfaction scores and that go, Press Gandy is who we utilize for that, and so we do get reports back monthly that shows us how we're doing with those individuals who receive the survey. The biggest things for us is the quality of the food. So they want obviously, we feed them a good quality food. Now you're still at a hospital, which quality wise, a lot of people don't realize this as well. A lot of the food that we get at the hospital is restaurant quality food, like restaurant grade food. We use the same vendors as maybe your Applebee's or your downtown vendors here in Athens may use U.S. Foods to get some of their food sources, and so that quality is it's the same item a lot of times. And so, like with our pot roast, it's the same quality item you would get at a restaurant. We have also the temperature of the food, and that's a hard one. The temperature of the food because it's hot when it leaves the kitchen, but I can't tell you how long it's going to take to hit the patient's room. So, when you have a full house, you're really at the beckoning of how quickly the food gets to the patient. We do have warming domes and things like that to do our best, and warming carts to keep it as warm as we can while it's transported and while it's delivered. But that's one we kind of have a struggle with. And then you also have the courtesy of the person who is delivering the food. So in the inpatient units, typically the PCAs deliver the food, so it doesn't directly hit my department, but on areas like mother baby, and we actually hand deliver their food to them. So we go in, verify they are who they say they are, and hand deliver those trays. So they're looking for a person to be nice to them as they're giving them the food that they've ordered for the day. So those are just some of the areas that our department affects our satisfaction scores.
Well, and I've seen some of the stories where the staff has kinda gone above and beyond and, special requests, as you were talking about being at comfort food. I know there's people who've had those special requests and things in there, so maybe share with us, kinda one of the stories that you have where somebody's kinda gone above and beyond food services.
So we had a patient a while back, and this individual was here alone. They were at the hospital alone, and no support, group with this individual. And so one of the things that was requested was they weren't eating. They weren't eating, and several departments were involved in this, but the patient wasn't eating anything, and they like these specific things. And so some of the stuff we actually had. And so nursing services actually got a hold of us and was like, "Hey, look, we have an individual who's not eating anything. There's no support group here with these people, this person." And so they were asking if we had this, or this, because they had been going out and getting food and bringing it back. And so when they called upon us, we went up to this individual and structured a menu for them within their diet restrictions for the entirety of the duration that person was there, and sent them exactly what it was that they were wanting to get them to eat. And so that person actually turned out to be one of our best friends. Actually, she came down and was talking to us about some other things and in the kitchen, and they wrote us a note and some nice little things, and it was interesting to be that comfort group for the individual. So the whole staff was involved in that because it went from me down. Y'all have to verify, y'all have to send this stuff, y'all have to make sure this person's getting this exactly on time and exactly what they're asking for every day, because we want to make them as appeal to them and make them as happy as we can in their time with us. So that was a good one, and everybody felt good about that. Once that individual was discharged, they were very thrilled that they were able to help out during that time. It was a good they were there for a good while. So
Well, I think any of us that's been in the hospital, while we enjoy the food, we all end up with those cravings, whether it's like a milkshake or a Chick-fil-A or whatever our craving is, like you said, that kinda brings us comfort, and a lot of times we do have a support person that can stop and grab that for us and bring it, so
Yeah, I DoorDashed PF Chang's after I gave birth. That was my that was my
That was your Barbie meal.
I love it.
Yeah, our staff is great about going above and beyond for things like that, several situations like that over the years. And then, a couple things that come to my mind is birthdays. Our staff will see, the birthday, recognize that it might be their birthday on that day, and then go above and beyond like a, piece of cake or something special for them. So really makes them feel good.
Oh, and y'all have great desserts. So
Most of our desserts are homemade, so
everybody needs to say it's their birthday when they come in.
Yeah, so like you said, most of the desserts are homemade, and of course, when you're feeding that many people, you can't necessarily expect every single item to be completely homemade. It's probably just not possible logistics-wise. Can you talk a little bit on that about kind of how much is fresh, how much is prepackaged, and how you decide which to do?
So realistically, it's going to go off of the volume, like how much we're going to serve of something as to what direction we're going to go. I will say though, the majority of our stuff is fresh. It is made that day. We go in, if it's we got fresh, never frozen beef that we use for a lot of our meals. Taco Tuesday, things like that, and it's made with love, and they're doing all the seasoning, all the veggies are all cut in house, all the sauces are made in house, the homemade ranch in house, like all these different things that we do. We actually do more. We lean more towards the homemade side if we can than we do on the hey, prepackaged this or prepackaged like our salads that we serve. We make all of our salads. We don't buy prepackaged salads. All of our sandwiches, it's all fresh made back there, either 1 to 2 days out, but it's fresh made in the kitchen with the ingredients that we have. So
I've been known to pick up a salad at the end of the shift just so I'd have it for dinner and not have to.
a lot of people do that.
Yeah, you can't stop by the store and get all those ingredients and cut it all up all yourself as efficiently and conveniently. So, well, what are some of the favorite items that people love and ask for? I know there's quite a few, but
So the ones that we've got the biggest comments on is Taco Tuesdays. They're always a seller. Everybody loves Taco Tuesday. Taco,
Some people like that every day.
they would eat it every day. They would eat it every day.
I can handle that every day.
The taco salad's great. They love that. The hamburger steaks, we do a nice hamburger steak, half a pound. If you guys are familiar with that saying, but a half a pound. I'm from Shoney's. That was on our menu. Half a pound was one of the things that you had on the menu, and it's a 8-ounce hamburger steak, and it has mushrooms and gravy and the sauteed onions and all that stuff that comes with it. And it's a good meal, a good hearty meal. They love that. And the Chinese, yeah, the Chinese is a big one as well. That's a big one. So those are the ones that we usually get the most compliments on. And we also do a wing day. We do different variations of boneless or bone-in wings. And you can mix and match those up too. So that's a good one as well.
What's the other Mexican style, the little fried thing?
Crispitos?
Crispitos, yeah. People love Crispitos.
Schoolhouse Crispitos. We had the ones you used to get when you was in school. We had the Schoolhouse Crispitos.
The real good ones.
Everyone loves a good nostalgic food.
Those are good. Those are
Favorite
good.
desserts?
The fried ice cream. The fried ice cream is a big seller for us. And when we have the hot fudge cake, when we do the hot fudge cake, that's a big one as well. So
You can tell what Mark's is.
hot fudge cake's where it's at. The fried ice cream is really good too.
Y'all making my stomach growl. You might hear it on the mic.
So, obviously we were talking about, supporting the staff with the staff, the cafeteria, the coffee stations, the snacks, long shifts. And I know we do a lot of things, like you said, outside of that too. And when we do events, hospital week and stuff, we kind of night shift coverage and things like that. So I know it takes the whole staff to try to pull that together. So I know with food services kind of gives you an opportunity to give a little shout out for kind of what they do. So what are some of the unique ways, I guess, that they support the staff? I know I just kind of went through a few of them, but you can go through more details.
So obviously with different events that we have, food services is called upon to cater a lot of our meetings. We do a lot of meetings, in-house meetings, and we give a spread. I mean, it's a spread of things that we support for like 30 to 50 people in these meetings, and it takes everybody hands on deck to get all that ready to go because that's cooked differently than we would cook for the general. So it takes an individual who has to be taken off of what they're doing to prepare all that for the 30 to 50 people for that particular meeting. But everybody's involved in it in some way or another, prepping it, getting it ready, delivering it, things of that nature. And so we get called upon for a lot of that. Our two biggest things that we do is as far as supporting from the hospital, supporting the staff and things that we do as far as events are concerned is the Starlight Ball. That's a big event for us. So we took that on a couple years ago in food services, and we've been asked to do it again. And so it is a lot of preparation, a lot of ordering, a lot of food goes into that. Then you've seen all the stuff that goes into it. And another big event for us is the hospital week celebration for everybody. And so we usually do a little cookout, and it's hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and we have watermelon and drinks and all that. And so we have runners going back and forth to the kitchen, bringing food back out to the folks that are grilling, to people serving, to people, getting everything stocked and wrapped and ready to take back out to the courtyard while we're doing that. And so it takes a lot from my staff. They're on their feet. They're there 13 hours a day usually, and they're on their feet for 10 of those hours, preparing and getting everything ready. So it's a very challenging, experience some days when you have big meetings as well as the hospital's full and you've got a full house outside. So it's a lot, but they do a very, very good job at managing their time and being able to orchestrate all the events that are asked in any given day. So
Yeah, they just did the service excellence, and there was some great things there. I know Mark came up to me, it was like, "Hey, have you tried that yet?" I was like, "No, and I will," and it was good. And they just did the chamber coffee, and I know you were at that too.
And another one that comes to mind is, most people love college football.
Yes.
When college football season comes around, we always do what we call a tailgate party and provide a free meal to our employees, and they love that, and have some games outside and stuff. And
Yeah, if you wanna get to the staff, the physicians, you just throw out some free food, and here they come. And I know the physicians will come down for those events versus even going to the physicians lounge to eat.
They will.
So,
I have a friend that's a nurse and, working those 12-hour shifts, and she'll talk about how hard it is sometimes to remember to eat, and having those easy options like a prepackaged salad or, a sandwich, whatever is so important too for them to just be able to grab it on the go when they're busy like that.
right.
yeah. Well, now down to a little bit of the serious stuff because there is protocols in place and safety measures in place. And I know food service is a big part of Joint Commission when they come and things like that. So maybe kind of talk about the preparations and kind of what the hospital does to kind of keep that serious, safe side of food services.
So obviously we follow the Alabama Department of Public Health safety guidelines. So they come in every 90 to 100 days and score us to make sure that we are following all of the proper protocols for time and temperature control of food, to wearing hair nets, to wearing beard guards, to making sure that our hands are washed and gloves are on and when you're handling food and things like that. And a lot of the protocols that they look at is the ServSafe protocols. So I have several individuals in there who are certified. I'm one of them, Mark's one of them. And then my cooks and individuals in the kitchen are ServSafe certified. So we go around all day and make sure that all of our stuff is within temp range, it's within date ranges, it's not expired, things are clean, making sure that individuals don't have, fake nails in there if they're prepping food, or you can't have jewelry and things like that.
storage is key.
Storage, making sure everything's stored properly because you can mess that up, and making sure that everything is, we try to be as orderly. I mean, the more orderly you are, individual walks in, it's in order, typically it's clean. If you're orderly, you're usually clean. And so we do follow, like I said, ServSafe guidelines, as well as the health department guidelines, as well as every 3 years we'll be surveyed by the Joint Commission, which is a more extensive, I guess, health department survey. Then they're spending more time with us than the health department usually does. But we always have to make sure that we're following all the proper protocols because you don't want to be on the news, you don't want to be on kitchen cots. So we make sure we're doing what we need to do.
Nope. Mark, I'm sure you've got something to add on that.
Well, yeah, he mentioned clean, and I just want to brag on Jordan and his staff on how clean that kitchen is. Anyone that we have that comes through, whether it be vendors or, you know, people coming to test things or whatnot, they tell us how clean our kitchen is, and so something to be very proud of.
Yeah, and I'll add a little brag on that too, and I hope I'm not gonna jinx anything here, but, we talk about incidences at the hospital, safety and incidences and things, and I can't tell you the last time I even heard of an incident in the kitchen, and we all know how accidents happen in the kitchen. I mean, water on the slipping on the floor, or you've got knives, you've got heating elements, you've got heavy, storage and all those kind of things that you're lifting and moving around and things, and you just don't really hear of that, which of course I know goes with being orderly, and being very consistent with some processes. So great shout out for the team because, like I said, I don't hear
It's no small feat.
no.
I've worked in a restaurant before in college, and every time I remember, like, if an inspector was coming in, it was, like, scary. Like, even if you knew you were doing everything right, you're already nervous, and, it's n definitely something to brag about whenever you get good scores and you
Yeah.
keep things clean, and so building on that, we talk about a lot how you guys support everyone else in the staff, and, I'm sure what the food service team does can feel a little thankless at times. What are ways that people can turn around and, show love and support back to food services when it just seems like they're doing that for everyone else all the time?
So the biggest things like I'll hear from my people, and they've gotten really good about doing this over the past couple of years. But the biggest thing is just a simple thank you goes a long way. A simple thank because that's what they're there for. They know that we're here for this is our task, this is our job, this is our calling, this is what we've chosen to do, and they know that. And but a simple thank you. Hey, we appreciate what you've done for us today. A thank you, and or the things that like nursing staff has been doing this for us over the past couple of years. If we have a day or an event where my staff's been involved and they're serving everybody and everything's going on, they are the last ones to eat usually. They eat last. Everybody eats before them. And so they come back behind, and a lot of the nursing leaders have actually come back and served my staff because they've been served everybody else that day. So they've actually served their meals so they could feel what it feels like to be on the other end, the receiving end of it, instead of having to serve everybody and then serve yourself. And so just those simple gestures like that to letting them know, hey, we appreciate what you've done, and thank you for what you do when we call upon you, or just that goes a long way for them. It goes a long way. So
Yeah, and they have such a smile, and, the hospital is a service industry, but food services definitely serves everybody in the hospital, the employees, the patients, the families, they are serving.
People having their best day and their worst day.
Yeah, they are serving everybody, and it goes for employees too, when employees come down for their lunch or their dinner or their breakfast, they've had a great day or they've had a horrible day. So, it's great to kinda have that place. Well, kind of in closing, kind of what's, one thing you wish the public knew about your team's work, or if you had a message to share with the community about the role of food services, what would that be?
So, I guess one of the things I wish, the public knew more of, I guess, is how hard they actually work to make sure that the day goes as smoothly as possible. Um, they start at some of them as early as 4:30. They're in the building at 4:30 in the morning to get everything cut on, make sure that everybody's gonna be at work, to make sure we have enough staff to get done what we need to get done, to making sure we got enough food to get through what we need to get through for the day. There's times we gotta run and go pick up something extra because we may be out of something. So, but they work really hard, and tirelessly to make sure that they have everything orchestrated so we don't miss a beat and your day is not messed up when you're gonna come down and wait for 20 minutes to get your food. Because a lot of these people are trying to get in and out, and so we're trying to make that as effortless as we can, get you in and out. But they work hard. They work very hard, and for the public, the general public, you can come eat. You can come eat during our open times. Like, it's not just restricted to the staff and visitors. Anybody from the general public is more than welcome to come eat at the hospital during our breakfast and lunch hours, as well as in our C-store. We have grab-and-go items in the C-store and coffee. A lot of people don't know we have a Starbucks actually in our hospital, so a lot of the surrounding areas, if you're watching this, you can come around to the Starbucks that we have in the C store. So, but I just want everybody to know just how hard those individuals work in the kitchen and the effort that they put into trying to be excellent at what they do. So,
That's
Yeah.
great.
And
Well,
the public eating, I wanna touch on that 'cause
yeah,
that was
go right
something
ahead.
I learned, okay? So and there's, like, weekly specials and stuff, right? Where can people find all of that information if they want to eat at the
So
hospital?
what we've looked at doing is potentially trying to get with marketing
Yeah.
and see if we can get our menu out there on social media. So we do a weekly menu, and it rolls out usually at the end of each week, and we roll it for the next week. And so just getting that out there with on social media, our Facebook page or the hospital's page, getting that information out there to those individuals so they can see what we have. And if you're in the hospital, we now have a big screen that scrolls our menu right there at the entrance of the cafeteria. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and we do have that for the employees, but as you said, it's not something we've been able to put out in the community to find that menu. So we need to do that. Well, in closing, I'll say, your staff works extremely hard and I know they work hard because they do see that in y'all also because I know I have seen both of you even in your leadership roles out there tugging, you know, coolers with ice and all those kind of things. You're not afraid to get your hands in there and help with the staff. And I know that the staff appreciates that. So thank y'all for being here. We appreciate you sharing that kind of information and that kind of behind the scenes look. Thank you, Mark and Jordan, so much for joining us and giving our listeners an inside look at the heart of hospital food services. From nutrition to compassion, your team is making a difference every day. To our listeners, next time you see a food service staff member delivering a tray or working behind the scenes, know that they are part of your healing journey. Thank you for tuning in to Healthy Conversations. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And as always, let's be the difference.